long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
So it looks to me that Kathleen Kennedy did actually trick Daisy into the PR blitz she wanted to do for a Rey movie to make it look like there was support in the fan base for a Rey movie, because Kathleen Kennedy is just that delusional. She's obviously told by Bob Iger and Bob Chapek together at separate times, of course, there was no Rey movie. And this is how the story came down. Daisy was invited to breakfast. She doesn't say when, with Kennedy to talk about something. And Kennedy dropped the bomb on her for it. Daisy does say she was working on another project when Kennedy called her. I'm going to assume that because of the way it was announced, it was probably during the week before Celebration. And she says to Collider last November, I was shitting myself before I went on stage because no one knew I was going to do that. Stop right there. Really? Because you were supposed to say goodbye to Kathy. This was supposed to be the bitch's Viking funeral. Okay? And instead what you did, dear girl, is you helped Kathy steal the thunder from Jon Favreau, who is the nominal head now of Lucasfilm till they can find a proper executive, because he and Dave Filoni had Mandalorian coming out. Weird, interesting. Or Ahsoka, I should say. You know, Jon Favreau has just recently announced that Mandalorian and Grogu, Din Djarin and Baby Yoda are going to the big screen. Where's the money going to come from for a Rey movie? Why are these stupid reporters still asking her this? Okay, Adam Driver, literally pushed it as far away from himself as he could, never coming back to Star Wars. Then, of course, we have the Ahsoka thing going on. Ahsoka Season 2 is coming out. Reason why I have Dave Filoni here is I want to show people that these two are the ones that you have to watch. This is just a PR nightmare for Daisy, who's obviously feeling trapped in a cycle of bullshit that she was dragged into a year ago. It'll be a year in May, or April, Star Wars Celebration in London. Okay. It's unbelievable to me that a woman who's supposedly as smart as Daisy would let herself get caught up in this. She doesn't tell anybody what Kathy told her. She probably knew, probably even had press packs with the Viking funeral all listed out. And yet, here we are, talking about a movie that's never going to happen. To what she said to Collider. No one knew I was going to Celebration, bar like Kathy Kennedy. And there were a couple other people. All right, Kennedy's minions. That's it. This is why she showed up, to lie about a movie, to pressure Bob Iger to giving her $200 million to make a new movie, to make a movie that no one wants to see. Okay. What? That's exactly what this is. Okay. Daisy's, I think, trapped in this, and it's sad.
For 10 long weeks, the Star Wars company labored on the suburban London sound stages, bringing to life a film that had begun as an idea with George Lucas 3 years before.
Urinal cakes? I don't believe this. All these years, the doyenne of Seattle's elite, looking down her nose at everyone in sight. She owes it all to this. She's managed to have her urinal cake and eat it too.
As I think we now have what's known in the legal profession as a bargaining chip.
Oh, are you kidding? She'd give anything to keep this quiet. No, Marta, that's all right. She doesn't have to come to the phone. Just give her this message. I've flushed out her family secret. Hello, Maris.
So, how did Kennedy trick Daisy into talking about a movie that's not going to happen at Star Wars Celebration to try to generate buzz for the movie that was never going to happen? They met for breakfast. Daisy was working on a film that was, I think, pretty important to her at the time. And I think it was around the time of Celebration, so there wasn't a way for word to get out before Celebration happened to the people that could stop it, mainly the Disney executives that would be at Celebration, seeing what the people thought, what the reception was. Now, if you notice everything, Disney doesn't talk about this at all. And they have not talked about the Acolyte either, but that's neither here nor there. So Daisy meets Kennedy for breakfast, and Kennedy basically says, we're developing a movie about, a sequel about Rey. Will you come to Celebration to help me announce it? Okay, fine, whatever. You know, in the immortal words of the idiot at Inside the Magic, what person wouldn't want to jump at a Star Wars movie? Adam Driver? John Boyega? Oscar Isaac? There, I named 3 right away. Okay. They're not coming back, so stop it. Daisy goes to Celebration. She, in her own words, said she's the only person that knew what she was there for, and she wasn't even really supposed to be there. Shows up. Everybody, the people that were there, the Jon Favreaus, the Dave Filonis, thought she was there to say goodbye. She was there to celebrate, quote unquote, Queen Kathy in her tarnished crown, the Maris Crane of Hollywood. And so phony is she. And they announced this movie that no one knew was happening. That Bob Iger said, no, you're not doing a movie about Rey. What did Bob Iger think? Well, a month later at Cannes, when the Indiana Jones 5 is being unveiled for the first time, Star Wars Hotel Cruiser gets shut down, gets canceled, and Willow's canceled while Kennedy is watching the movie. A few days later, in June, Kennedy's humiliated by Steven Spielberg by intentional ignoring of her and her husband. Okay, you've seen the video. I've got the video up on this channel. Go look up the videos. It's remarkable what he did. Okay. Then, after Indy, the day that Indy 5 is pre-released, I was there in the parking lot getting ready to go in to see the first screening here in the area. And I get a phone call from Cameron saying, Kathleen Kennedy has been locked out of the server at Lucasfilm. Okay. Then the Monday, apparently there was a meeting between Iger, Kennedy, I would say Alan Bergman, Dana Walden, and a few other people, lawyers probably, where Kennedy tried to insinuate it was Iger's fault. All of it. Even the failure of Indiana Jones on the Dial of Destiny. Iger lost his shit. When Kennedy came back after her European vacation, she was locked out of the off of campus, and I don't think she's been back. I think the only time she went back was to talk to the Witch King of Burbank, and apparently, from what Sparrow said, they packed her office out. All of it went back to her house in the Pacific Palisades. She has another house in California, in the Los Angeles area, in the Pacific Palisades. It's not the one they're selling. Okay. That's what happened. So we've got Daisy Ridley knowing all this probably, or knowing enough to go, why am I still doing this? Talking about a movie she knows isn't going to happen. Being very vague about the movie. That isn't going to happen. Okay, I'm literally like shocked that the people that people think it still is. I'm shocked at reporters. No, I'm not. Though the reason why she's still talking about it is there are reporters who will not shut up about it. You know, European reporters, I think, are actually worse than the reporters in the United States. I've seen them ask and remarkably stupid questions, let's just put it that way, of actors, and say remarkably stupid things to actors like Harrison Ford. I mean, the French reporter that asked John Kasdan if Lando Calrissian was pansexual, and of course, John Kasdan was like, yeah, duh. Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. So what is going to happen? They're going to keep talking about it till they stop talking about it. That's what's going to happen. Okay, or unless in February, Kennedy basically states she's no longer running Lucasfilm, that she's retired. Or Disney just puts it out there. Which they could. I think it would be in their right to do it. I don't know, though. But Daisy was definitely tricked into doing something that, you know, the way she talks about it's very vague. She only knows the storyline. She hasn't seen the script. Obad Chinoy, you know, has an if-come contract where if they make it and she's available, she'll be the director, but it's never going to happen. And I think if anybody's delusional, it's probably Chinoy. But, you know, to put Daisy through this one, Driver, Isaacs, and Boyega are like, fuck you, no, we're not doing this anymore. Says a lot about Daisy not being strong enough to say, I'm done talking about this. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Not going to talk about it unless it's real, unless I have a script. And that's what she should do. But she's as much a victim of, and it's her fault, she knows better, of Kennedy's bullying and bullshit as anybody else was and still is. All right. I look at the black pills and think you're victims of Kennedy's bullshit. Okay, you're victims of this crap. Okay. I look at her own fans. She's victimized you. You act like abused children. Stop it. Okay? The woman, look, this is the fakest thing of all the fake things Kathleen Kennedy's ever done or said. Okay? She's a fucking phony. Daisy knows it. Daisy needs to distance herself from this stupid shit. When will she do that? This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.